Hi Stampers, it's Donna Demko with Stampin' Up. Today I wanted to show you a card that I made for a class that we did, an online class that we had done, and I got a lot of good feedback on it, so I just wanted to show you how to make it. This one is using black with the vellum. This is a vellum paper here. So I backed it with the vellum, and then I actually put this on Stampin' Dimensionals and popped out the center without the vellum, so it really brings the eye towards the trees in the middle. And this one I named The Road Less Traveled. You can actually put any sentiment you want down at the bottom, but today I'm going to show you how to make this. And I wanted to show you another one because I'm going to bring you forward because you're so far back on my table that I am really having to stretch to even get in the screen here. I got this paper that I'm going to be using and showing you from our Stamping Up Occasions catalog. This catalog runs to June the 2nd, and it has a lot of wonderful things in here until March the 31st. This catalog goes along right with this catalog. So for every $50 you spend online on my website here at www.donnademko.stampinup.net, every $50 you spend there or in any of the catalogs, you are able to order something out of here, out of this catalog. And you see where it says free. Well, these items are free. So once you place a $50 order, then you get to pick something out of this catalog for free. Now this sale is only going on, we've only got a couple more weeks left of this. This sale only goes on till March 31st and then it's gone. So I want to make sure that you all have a chance to, if you are going to be ordering, go ahead and take advantage of this. Order before March 31st and you get to get your free item for every $50 spent. If you spend $150, that's 3 items. That is before tax and shipping. And this catalog though, when we got this catalog, I'm not much of a flower person. I know people loved the idea of making this bouquet because it is in this book and you can order and put together this bouquet. Me, I'm more of a nature person, so I really fell in love with a lot of the items they had in here that spoke to me as far as nature. And one of those items is right back here, and I don't know if you can see it very well on screen, but it's this right here called Adventure Bound Design Series Paper Stack. And in this paper stack, let me get it for you. I think I've buried it here because I've been working over my desk, but in this paper stack, well, when you do get it, when you open it, this, whatever this little sealant is going to come right off. I don't know why, but I know a lot of people have said that. But when you do look at this paper, on one side is this beautiful almost like a photograph kind of picture, and then on the other one, I've already been working with it, so on the other side is just beautiful designer paper. But you'll notice this one is wood, more that I've worked with, grass, and then, you know, as for every, that's more wood. I think you get 3 or 4, I think 4 copies of one pattern in here, but you can see the water. And the other side, it is 2-sided, so the beautiful rocks. Look how pretty that is. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This paper pack here comes with a lot of beautiful, beautiful paper. I just love the realistic side, and then you turn over and you get something fun. There's another sweater you could make one of those men's t-shirts out of. It's very earthy on this side and very almost great to do man cards out of. So here's another sweater design. Bricks. So I'll let you look through it if you order it. Have fun with that. This is a beautiful one. I'll show you a card I did with that. But anyway, this whole package here, and I've been using the heck out of it, so you see that there are a lot of pieces of paper that are half size, because I have been using it. But this is a really, really fun paper pack, unusual. You get a lot of them that have a lot of cutesy paper. This one was just really nice because It had a lot of nature in it. It had a lot of things where you can make a manly card or just a real good, beautiful, earthy, natural card, especially with April. I think it's the 22nd is Earth Day. A great Earth Day card made out of this would be great. Not birthday, but Earth Day. And this is actually called the Adventure Bound Designer Paper. So give that a look when you do go on my online store, or if you do look in the catalog. That's a really nice paper. A nice paper pack. I can think of so many cards that you can make out of it. And I showed you this one that I'm going to show you how to make today. And I made this as the tent folding card, so you can fill out the inside. On this one, I actually used the ivory. Stampin' Up! Has two different paper out of all the beautiful paper. They have two that are a little bit different, and they are called the natural paper. And this is like an almost like an ivory and a cream color. So a little off-white and a cream, but it has, I don't know if you can see it or not, but just beautiful speckles all the way through. It's very natural looking and handmade paper pressed kind of look and texture to it. So I thought that was really great to do a nature card. And I would definitely think this is a road less traveled with all this woods. But anyway, let me show you this one that I did also. And it is with the wood and pine that's in the book. And this one just says, "You're the best." And I did the same thing. I coated it with the vellum. I just did the background paper. Covered it with, actually before I covered it with vellum, I actually cut out the middle here. So there is a big hole in this paper here. You just never see it because you are covering it over with your last layer here. This one I did with black, and then I did a natural color, crafty color, brown, and then I did the picture. This one I did in the natural paper. See that? And then I framed it with a black base, and then did the vellum in my picture. So two different styles there. And I'm going to show you how to do this one really quick. This is what you're going to need. I took a 8.5 by 11 paper. I cut it down the middle to 5.5 by 8.5. Scored it in the middle at 4 1/4. And that makes my tent card. And when you're doing black, you'll know that inside you'll want to put a white or something in there so that you can write in there. Or cream color, like I showed you. So this is 5.5 by 4.5. If you want to write down the sizes, that way when you make this card, and I hope that you do, you'll know what size to cut these at. So this is your base, your card base. Your next one is going to be, like I said, out of a natural tan, brown, khaki crumb cake. I did a 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 is the size of this, and I'm going to use this just as my base on this one. So to my base card, oh, I always put these off here for you, so let me do that. Let me go ahead and take this one. I'm going to use my fast fuse. Just do my runs here. And we're going to go ahead and see if I get this even. This is always the hardest part. Hang on, I want to take that up. As I saw, I didn't leave enough space on this other side. Okay, there we go. So we got those two together. I gotta make sure I stay in frame here. Sorry. And then, let's see if I can get it here. I'm going to take the forced picture that I have, and I'm going to use a die cut and cut out the center, which I have done right here. So this is going to be the part I'll use for the front. This is my background. And this comes from, let's see if I can show you where that is. I don't have that right now, so I just use the Spellbinder, and I'm using the number 7, which is 1 7/8 by 3 1/8. So it is what I call the number 7, which I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 7. So that's my 7th die out of there. So that's what the size is. It's 1 7/8 by 3 1/8. It really doesn't matter what size you cut it. If you have something at rectangle, just center it and cut it. With this piece here, I cut this piece because they are actually larger at 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. So let me put that right there for our next step. And then we are going to go ahead and center that and glue it on here. You know, I'm going to get my Tombow. The Fast Fuse is great, but the Tombow gives me a minute where I can actually move this around for a second before it actually sets up. So it's forgiving, especially when I need all the forgiveness I can get on these things. See what I mean? How you can move it around without it sticking down on you. Okay, so that's my background. And what I'm going to do is, and you can use your Tombow or your tape run or your Fast Fuse. I cut a piece of vellum, and Stampin' Up! Has the vellum, and I will actually put all of the item numbers on this video, but I cut the vellum the same size as I did this background, which is 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. So pull that off. And I have not mastered what kind of adhesive you use on vellum so it doesn't show through. I know that I see on the demonstrator sites on Facebook everybody asking the same question. How do you use vellum and not have it show through all the glue? So what I do with this one is I let it go and I just glue the center because it's not going to show. You're going to have your layered piece on that. So what I do is I just go ahead and run my tape gun or glue fast, you know, the glue if you want to use your Tombow. Just stick it on there. And we're going to go ahead and stick our vellum on there. Now if you'll see, you can see that tape gun. See the tape through there? So I just go ahead and I just do it on the background. It's not going to show, and I leave these ends up. It kind of leaves a nice natural handmade look. Now when you get this far, before you do layer the rest of your card, I would go ahead and stamp your sentiment. On this card, I did it on this layer because there was a space right here and it looked really nice just on that layer. On this one, we're going to have the trees in front, so you'll want to go ahead and do that at the bottom like I did here. And what I did here was I used my, let's see here, my Versamark. Stampin' Up! Has that available, and I went ahead and used my stamp, and then I did it in the Stampin' Up! Embossing white powder. And I heated that on, and that's a great combination, and that looks really good on the vellum paper. For this one, just for speed's sake, and I don't want to have you sitting here waiting for me to heat up my glue gun or my heat gun, I am just going to pull a sentiment. Now I know that Stampin' Up! Has a lot of great stamp sets where they have a lot of great sentiments. This is a great one, which is called Teeny Weeny Wishes. Look at all the sentiments in the stamp set. What stamp set can you get that gives you 24 stamps in a stamp set? That's awesome. And this goes for everything. I think I've shown you this before, but it's actually a great stamp set, and you will use it for every card you make because it has every sentiment on here, from with sympathy to hello baby, happy anniversary, happy Mother's Day. You can use this stamp set for everything. Here's another one. It is called Simply Wonderful, and it is a celebration item. So I think this is one I got free with my $50 purchase. This one has 7 stamps in it, and this one has a lot of great sentiments in as well. And then this one's also in the Occasions catalog I just showed you. and I've done a card, a video on this one, so you look that up. But it has a couple of really good sentiments on it. Here's the happy birthday and sending wishes your way, and a really cute little saying that you put inside of card or on a little pop out on the front of your card. This one I think I'm going to try. Let's see how big, to a great friend, or even congratulations. Let's pick one of those. So I think I've rubbed my elbow all over this one. I used that stamp for my last one, so I guess I should have glued this down the other direction so that my paper doesn't curl. But after it's in an envelope for a while, you know, it's probably not going to do that anymore. So let's see what To a Great Friend is going to look like. And I'm using my Stampin' Up! Block. I think it's the D. When you have the clear label on it, you just want to hold it there for just a few minutes, and you can see how it grabs on after a minute to, after I say that. This is one of those bloopers that you'll probably want to just edit out of the video. So anyway, I'll get my stamp on there. I'm going to use Stays On in black because I do have the black trim on here, and I want to follow that. By all means, if you want to use the white Stays On, or just emboss white, that would be fine. So I am going to, I think I'm going to leave the blooper in there because when I'm looking at videos, I think that's probably the funnest part. So you guys can all laugh at me with my stamp falling off, but I think I might leave that in. Okay, so over in this corner, do I want to center it or put it in the corner? I think I'm going to put it in the corner. I think I touched my paper, my vellum, right there. So put your sentiment down here, or center it if you want. I almost centered it, so I got a spot there. Then we're going to go ahead and put our last piece on, and we're going to back it with some black. The black I'm going to use is 2 1/8 by 3 1/8. If I edited this video now, it'd probably be gone. Let me put my last size down here. Let's go ahead and Tombow this. Just glue our backing. Just want to make it really thin because I don't want a lot of gooped up glue in there. That's the trick with Tombow. Don't do it real thick. It'll dry faster and it really sticks well, so just stick it on there. I've left enough of the edges on here so that when I do put it on my paper, it does hide the center that I cut out. This is a good way to use one piece of paper and not use a lot of your paper by having to use another piece to cut out the center. Just use this one, back it with black, and you don't see it at all. That Stays On. Ooh, does anybody else love the smell of Stays On ink? Oh gosh, I love this stuff. Alright, and we're going to just use some Stampin' Dimensionals. If we keep talking, this video is going to be 20 minutes long, if we're lucky. Alright. Get our Stampin' Dimensionals going. You can use whatever picture you want on this. You can use whatever sentiment you want. If you want to do a happy birthday, it could be, Stampin' Up! Has some great designer papers, so you can use anything. This works for any card. Let me make sure I'm lining up my trees. Now, I can see my trees in the background here. You see the trunks of the trees, so I want to make sure, and here's the end tree here, so I want to make sure that I am lining up my tree trunks right there. Maybe if I hold my finger over my boo-boo, you won't see it, unless I just pointed it out. But anyway, that's the finished card. And if you do a boo-boo like that, you know that that's a place where you would take and put 3 buttons, or you would take and put, which I probably will, because there's no mistakes when you're stamping like this. There's always solutions that you can use. I wouldn't put a bow down here which I usually do when I make a mistake like that, because it is a manly earthy card. So I would probably take something like Brad's. You know, you just do the Stampin' Up! Has the little tiny buttons, and actually there are 3 little brown ones in here. There's lots of brown ones in here, so maybe little brown buttons would be good. I can get that up backwards, and you can just hide that mistake. You won't make that mistake, I'm sure, but since I'm videoing this, I did, so it never fails, right? Everybody who makes videos of your stamping projects knows what I mean. But anyway, that's a clever thing to do right here. Cover up your mistake. It actually helps that vellum to stay down too. So I'm going to get some stamping, some little dots, glue dots, and I'm going to glue those on. You can also, another little nice thing, this is a tent. Let me take this off right now. It is a tent folding cards. The next thing that I would do is to hold the top here. If you don't like it folding like that or showing like that, take your baker's twine or a nice thick natural colored twine and just circle that around there and tie it off at the top here, so that would look really pretty. You know what else would be pretty? And I think they're on special. They're still on special. Sorry, I'm rummaging. Stampin' Up! Does, let me see what's in my next drawer. More Stampin' Up! Buttons. These. Okay, I'm going to do this, and I probably won't have time on this video, but I'm going to do this. These were on special, so when you're going on my website to the donnademco.stampinup.net, go on the, it might still be in the clearance, but they have all of these beautiful little wooden veneer leaves. How cute is this? So when you're tying the twine across the top, just hang a little leaf, or maybe 2, off that twine, and be sure you cover up your boo-boos with buttons. And look how pretty that is. In your world there will be no boo-boos, but actually this boo-boo added a really cute design at the bottom. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my, and I don't have it right now, I wasn't prepared because I just thought of it, but that's what happens when you make a card, when it actually tells a story. While you're making it, you're designing it as you're making it, and then when you get it finished, you look at it and it speaks to you, and that's what it tells you, what it wants on it. So what this card is wanting is the buttons to cover my boo-boos, the little wooden buttons to go with our little wooded scene, and then some brown, darker brown twine to go around the top here and tie on these little veneer leaves. And when you get these, look how many you get in there. Those are a lot. And all different shapes and sizes. Look at that. So make sure you check this out on I think they are, I hope they're still on the clearance page, and this is like $3. And you get a whole big stack of them. They'll usually have, this one was buttons that I got, and tiny buttons that I got. So anyway, when you make a boo-boo, be inventive and add something to the design, and it really speaks to the design, and nobody will even know that you made the mistake. So I'm going to get off here and stop talking, but anyway, I will post this card as well as the other ones that I did. I've thrown them all over my desk now and I can't see it because there's a whole stack of stuff on the side. So I'll post this when I get it finished, the twine wrapped around it and my glue on my little buttons. I'll post this on my Facebook page right here. Let's see if you can see it. Probably on my blog, which is, simple, www.donnademco.com. That's my blog. And then I will also put these on facebook.com/Donna's Creative Corner. I say that on every video, so you guys are probably sick of hearing that and probably know where to find me by now. But anyway, I'll go ahead and post those, and this one finished once I get all the twine on there, and the other 2 that I made, because this book, this designer paper, has such great stuff. I showed you the rocks with the water. Can you imagine these blocks being, the rocks being the little square in the middle, and then the water being a background? And that could be a cute card, or they have the wood here, and then you can cut a square of the cut wood to be your block in the front, your little cutout, framed cutout in the front. So, oh, I hope you could have seen that. I hope I didn't do that all out of frame. But anyway, you can imagine the twine on here with my little veneer leaves and my little buttons to cover up my boo-boo. But anyway, take a look at this designer packet, because there's so many different things that you can do with this. It also comes bundled with, let me see, it does come in a bundle. So it says Adventure Awaits stamp set, plus your Adventure Abound. You could do that in a bundle for 15% off up till, I guess, June 2nd is what this book goes for. And this is right here at the bottom is your Adventure Awaits stamp set. I have both, so I did buy the bundle. But it really is like the adventure begins. Can you imagine that in the middle of this? Or that's what I used here. This one says choose the road less traveled. I just took off choose. You know, you cover that with your tape, your sticky tape, and then you stamp this bottom part, and then you take the sticky tape off, and then you stamp it here. This is the original size of the stamp, not that. These are huge, so it's a great stamp set because it takes up a lot of space. This one right here could take up the whole front of your card. But I've seen people use these with the Traveler stamp set. That's a beautiful one. That's the one with the train and the boats and everything. But anyway, check it out on my website. And if you would like to purchase yours, go ahead and go on my Stampin' Up site. Oops, got that upside down. And play with some vellum. You can heat it when you are doing your embossing on here. Do not hold your heat gun close to that or in one spot, because you do not want to get this warped. So keep your heat gun moving and at a little distance, and this will be just like this, nice and flat, and a nice print off, a nice dried print off for you. So anyway, these are my 3 cards that I made for you today. I'll finish this one up, and then I'll go ahead and post that onto my site, and you can see them all. The twine, natural twine on all 3 of these would be great. This one here, I did it as the tent, like the other ones open, but I just did it sideways, so it opens this way. So that's the difference. You can do either way, landscape or horizontal. But anyway, I hope this gets you motivated to want to try one. They are beautiful natural nature cards. You can see that this one could be for sympathy. Any of them could be for sympathy. A happy birthday, a man card. April, we have Earth Day coming up, so just keep that in mind, because these would make lovely Earth Day cards as well. Give me a check out on my website, and I will see you on my next video. Thank you so much for taking the time and staying with me. And if you did watch this video all the way through, I really, really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.